In Kennesaw, Georgia, owning a gun is a requirement. The city council enacted an ordinance in 1982 to respond to an Illinois town which banned guns.
I've never even held a gun in my hand.
Stacy Newkirk says she takes part in the opt-out option. She lives in Kennesaw, but she doesn't own a gun.
I pretty much just decided that it wasn't necessary.
And Police Chief Bill Westenberger says that's okay. The ordinance is loosely enforced. But he says the idea that bad guys know more people in Kennesaw have guns could keep them at bay.
I would think so. If you're a criminal and you're going to break into somebody's house and you think that they have a gun inside, you might have second thoughts towards breaking in.
When the law was put into place 30 years ago, Kennesaw police served a 5,000-person population. Now these officers patrol for 33,000. Westenberger isn't so sure that it's the guns that keep his community so safe.
I think having strong roots and deep roots in a community keeps the community tighter and closer knit.
Over the years, as population has grown, crime rates have stayed low.
How many, gun-wielded murders have you had this year?
0.
And last year?
0.
In the last 5 years, Kennesaw has seen only 3 murders. We decided to bring this fire-powered concept to the upstate, to Anderson, a community that also calls itself tight-knit, and is about the same size as that Georgia city. Anderson's latest murder was just last month, and since 2006, the Electric City has had 21 murders. And police spokesman Tony Tilley says any murder rocks the city.
Anderson is a relatively small town, and we don't have that many homicides here. And when we do, I think it does resonate throughout the community. It is big news for us because we still have that small town feel.
Other demographics may come into play. Anderson has had a higher unemployment rate, over 12%, with Kennesaw's just over 10%. And Kennesaw has a substantially higher median income, around $60,000, versus Anderson's at just under $30,000. Kennesaw has 60 sworn officers, Anderson has 95. Kennesaw is ranked as the second safest city in Georgia. Anderson consistently ranked higher for violent crimes compared to the U.S., the South, and across South Carolina. But Anderson police and residents say their town is generally a safe place.
I feel safe here, yes.
Libby Winkler doesn't have a gun, but says if Anderson had a law like Kennesaw's, she would feel safer. Richard Thompson agrees and told us how armed Americans have historically made a statement.
In World War II, that's one of the things that the Japanese thought about when they were considering what to do about the United States. They were very hesitant to invade the country because they knew that most people in America had guns, and that was something that was of concern to them.
I really don't think Anderson's that dangerous of a place that you have to pull a gun on someone all the time.
But Haley Smith thinks the more guns are around, the greater the possibility of accidents or heat-of-the-moment shootings.
Shine 'em up.
Ike Clayton has seen Anderson grow since he was born in 1923. Clayton has 3 guns and says everyone should have at least 1 gun at home.
You ain't got nothing, had no protection. You wish you'd have had a gun.
But guns on the streets make Clayton nervous. At Anderson Gun and Pawn Shop, Matt McClellan is one making sure gun owners know how to use them safely by teaching firearm safety classes.
I think it'd definitely be safer because the criminals are always going to have a gun.
Even NRA President David Keene says that while gun ownership is a right, it shouldn't be a mandate, but concealed carry laws should be widespread. He says every state but Illinois has some form of them.
And without exception, in every state that those laws have been passed, violent crime has gone down.
And Senator Lindsey Graham, a staunch Second Amendment supporter, agrees.
I like our state carry laws. We're a God-fearing group of people, and I believe responsible gun ownership is the right way to go. It's a constitutional right, but I would not suggest that we try to pass a law making somebody buy a gun, because that's not going to fly.
Dana Wachter, Fox Carolina News Tonight.